Hello, dear friends. This is the channel M&I Travels, and today me and my husband Graham.
Hello.
Hi. We're gonna talk about differences, mentality differences. So I'm Russian, and my husband Graham is
English,
living in Ireland.
but I have a Dublin accent.
And let's go into it.
Okay.
The first thing is
When you when you live in Ireland, especially Dublin, people say thank you to you everywhere you go. If you open the door, thank you. If you close the door, thank you. Sometimes I think it's the only word they know, but they say it quite a lot. Followed by the word sorry. Sorry I did this, sorry I did that. They could say to you, sorry I did this, and say thank you after. But it's strange. They have other words you could use, but you can't say them. Okay, in Russia it's different.
well, in Russia, you say thank you only if you really mean it, because saying thank you everywhere, there and there is considered like you don't really mean it, you are not sincere, and we only say thank you if somebody did really something, not maybe not that big, but something meaningful. Meaningful?
Yeah, meaningful.
Yeah. Otherwise, you won't just thank for just simple thing, but you say thanks when you only mean it. Next one.
Sense of Irish humour. Oh, it says here, fart, sneeze, someone is sick, dead, etc. Okay. So, if you're at a table of friends and you're having food and someone happens to fart, it's okay. You see who's the most smelliest, the most loudest. If one of the girls fart, it's a bonus, but that doesn't always happen. The only place you cannot do this is in front of the parents, but unless they join in too. What is it? But that's you go.
Yeah, well, in my country, it's absolutely unacceptable. This type of humor, if somebody is about to die and you start joking about
How much money will you get?
that's unacceptable. It's a very rude, and people will just consider you, they will think that you are a little bit not there, or something is wrong with your mind.
Yeah, because over here, if someone dies, you have a wake, like a party, and people view it as a party. You have to look sad and get drunk, but it's fun.
Yeah, well, in Russia, as I said already, that's
more serious,
absolutely unacceptable.
True.
Unacceptable, and like nobody will ever understand you. Next one.
Everyday eating or takeout. Lots of Irish people don't really eat much at home, but weekends they do. But during the week, if they're working, they don't have much time. So they buy food going to work, they buy probably takeaways on the way home. It makes it easier. Doesn't keep you skinny, but it tastes good sometimes.
While in my country, in Russia, every woman, regardless she works or not, even if she works, she comes back after work and she starts cooking. So in Russia, we don't go to restaurants every day. We go to restaurants on special occasion, but not every day, you know. Even to take away, you know, even if we work, we just bring our container food with us and eat it at work.
But if the woman at home is a bad cook, why would you go home? She'd have to be good.
I don't know any woman who doesn't know how to cook. Any Russian woman.
It's not what they cook, it's what it tastes like. But okay, next one. What's
but
next
you're
one?
right, but mostly it is good.
Okay.
Next one.
People in Ireland, they smile and say hello to everybody. Could be a stranger. It could be a dog on the street. It's hello, how have you been? And you don't even know the person. It's quite good. You could sit there and talk to a person having a friendly drink all night. You tell him your life story, and you still don't know his first name. Then he's a friend.
While in my country, in Russia, to smile to somebody you don't know, or they think you're a little bit cuckoo, or they think that if it's, let's say, a girl is smiling to a guy and looking in his eyes, that she fancies him.
Good.
So in Russia, we don't smile to strangers. We don't speak to strangers. Not up to this extent that you can tell them your story. That's a very precious to you. You can tell story to your dear friend that you know for a long time. But no, if you don't smile to people on the streets.
So do people in Russia smile at all?
Only to the people that they know.
Ah.
Or if they have a reason to smile, maybe in the movie, or
Well,
if somebody.
I know you, so I can smile. Okay.
Next one.
Tips in a restaurant. Normally, in Ireland, if you go to a restaurant, you don't get poisoned by the food, and it's reasonably okay. You leave a tip. I think it's 15% normally, so it works out 15%, 15 euros per 100 euros of food. So for a decent meal, for say 4 people with wine, will run you about 200 or 300 euro. So it's not a bad tip. But in Ireland, people tip even if they don't like the food, which is madness. And sometimes you have a service charge, which the tip is included, which, even if you don't like the food, is paid again. In some places with the service charge, people still tip after paying the service charge. So it's like 2 tips, which makes it an expensive meal.
While in Russia, when people go to a restaurant and if they like the service, I'm not sure about some restaurants, maybe it is included now because I don't live in Russia for quite a while, and but Russian people just known, especially men, they just splash on tips. If they like the service, they like the food, they will splash on tips.
Okay.
The next one.
Yes, marriage. Many young people in Ireland now, when they get married, they pay for the wedding themselves, which was a great thing for the parents. But the parents do chip in some part too.
Well,
you go.
So in my country, in Russia, usually parents paying for your first wedding. I mean parents, if you live in Russia. Obviously, I don't live in Russia for many years already, and it's a bit different. But yes, if Russian children getting married for the first time I said, because in Russia it's very easy to divorce after, and sometimes it can be, that the marriage doesn't work out. Yes, parents take all expenses and pay everything.
The only thing is, the more times you get married, the less they pay.
True. That's the first marriage.
So
I
it's
mentioned
good to stay married.
The next one.
When in Ireland, if you invite guests to your house, let's say for a party, for a session or something, you you don't really cook for them unless it's special. You usually order food from a restaurant or takeaway. And sometimes the guest has to pay for themselves if they want to. And normally they bring some drink with them too, but normally you supply the drink as well.
While in Russia, if a host inviting guests, like friends or a big company, the host will do their best to cook the tastiest food, to make sure that all the guests are entertained, to make sure all the guests are fed. And it won't be just normal food, takeaway food. It will be the best, which we usually cook for New Year, because that's the best we put on the table. So that's the way it will be in Russian, in my country, in Russia.
Okay. Divorce in Ireland. I think I'm up to date. Divorce in Ireland is hard to achieve. It used to be up to 5-6 years separation, followed by, then you could apply for the divorce. But now I think it's 3 years living apart, separation, and then you can apply.
So while in my country, I'm from Moscow, I forgot to mention, it is very easy to get divorced. Well, if you have kids, it's a little bit more complicated because you have to go to court. But even then, if you apply, they will call you once, and then the second time, if both sides agree, it can be, I don't know, it might take 6 months, or even, no, if it's kids, if you have kids. If you don't have kids, it's even easier. I think it is 3 months. You go to the registry office, apply for divorce, and here we go, you're divorced.
So you can get married 2 or 3 times with no kids in a year.
That's why, yes, you in Russia people getting married, maybe because they're getting married very early.
I think they're bored.
And yeah, so there are like so many divorces.
So should I
my
start
country.
to get worried now or what? Maybe you're in Ireland. I have 3 years advance warning. Maybe.
We are too long already together, no? Next one.
That's even worse. We're too long together. That's like you're one piece.
No, for like.
Okay, in Ireland, if someone offers you something like food, drink, or anything basically, cup of coffee, cup of tea, and you don't want it, you can say no, and they will listen to you, and hopefully respect your wishes and not give it to you.
In my country, you can say no as well, but in my country, in Russia, no means not always no. Sometimes, most of the times, the host which invite you, let's say, for a meal, they will offer you again and again until they succeed, because Russian people in my country, in Russia, it is considered polite to say no for the first time. Then maybe second time you say maybe, or if you say no again, so be sure, they will approach you again.
So if they offer you a drink and you say no, they will keep to offer you.
Yes.
So maybe it's good to say no once. It could be worth it, no?
Yes, it's considered polite.
I'm going to Moscow. Okay.
So the
now,
next one
is shopping. In Ireland, it's probably a different culture. When people go shopping, let's say from the house, apartment, wherever they live, or work, they normally wear their work clothes, casual dress. They don't dress up to go shopping. There was a stage you used to go in their pajamas, whether they be clean or dirty, they would still go. I think that still happens now in some areas. How about Moscow?
While in my city, you just can't leave the house wearing tracksuit unless you're going for a run or
you have high heels.
In my country, it is absolutely normal to be well dressed, and your hair to be tidy, and the battery is
Dead.
yeah.
Plug
Before
your phone in. You can do it. You
I
don't
can't
need-
because it's there.
Oh, sure. Wait, you don't have a problem, so.
Before you even leave the apartment or the house, so you have to look appropriate before you leave your place. So, and if you were in pajamas or tracksuit, people will just look at you and say, "What happened to her? Is she?"
Maybe they sleep in the supermarket.
Yes.
Look, it's not a bed store.
So you don't really want, somebody bad mouthing about you. But I think for today we covered everything.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much
Thank you.
for watching our video. If you like it, please thumbs up. Please like it. And we'll see you again soon. Bye bye.